Cyber. It's back again.
Wow. Once upon a time, there was a ferocious tribe of female warriors whose system of politics and tribal upbringing was completely different from our own. It was the only... Some people may be able to correct me on this, but I think that it was definitely the most established, definitely best known matriarchy in the history of civilization. They were renowned for their ferocious Spartan-like practices of prizing warriorhood above all else.
This is woman!
This is the Amazon! And to this day, their name, Amazon, exists as a synonym for powerful female empowerment. And also somewhere you can buy books on the internet.
Yeah, how did that come about?
And Amazon.com is a site on the internet where you can buy books. You can also buy DVDs. They have an impressively poor range of Nintendo games, CDs. Basically, if it contains media, the Amazon might sell it. I'm not sure how that is linked to the region, the tribe, or any other thing which bears the name Amazon.
So, how did Amazon start, Tom?
Well, back in the olden days, some people invented the internet, and they traded weapons secrets on it. They traded pornography on it, and traded jokes about why Unix is better than Windows on it. And then at some point someone said, now you do know that we could make money off this, right? And thus was born e-commerce, which sounds like a bacteria, but it's not. Aha! It's actually a thing where you buy things. And somebody said, well, I'll tell you something that people like to buy and sell, books. And so they said, let's make a place on the internet where you can buy and sell books. And let's name it Amazon. Why would we do that? Well, I'm sure we have our reasoning, but we're not going to tell you what it is.
Well, it was actually quite famously only one person.
Really? Who?
Yeah. I can't remember the dude's name now.
Oh, but it was a dude.
But there was one guy who started out in his garage selling books to his friends on a mailing list.
Really?
And then it gradually got bigger and bigger.
Yeah?
Yeah.
At what point did he call it Amazon, do you know?
From the very outset, I think.
So it was the Amazon mailing list?
Yeah.
I wonder if maybe he was on Amazon Street.
Possibly.
Maybe. So, on Amazon.com, useful things that you can do include buying things, looking for things, comparing things. They have a thing whereby if you purchase or express interest in a book, they will utilise an innovative technique which not many people have caught on to, where they will say to you, if you're interested in this thing, may we suggest that you may also be interested in this thing. It's like they're selling you something, but then they're just adding something up on the top of it as well. Just upping the sell, if you were. Do you think that's the sort of thing that you might be able to use in your business practice, Danny?
It is, actually. I'm just thinking about that.
Yeah? You think there might be applications for it in the real world, in so-called brick and or mortar shops? So that's an interesting thing that Amazon.com do. They allow people to talk about the things that they've purchased, and from this many useful comments can be gleaned, similar to the ones that you've read on the IMDb, really.
Yes.
Sometimes they'll give you free things. Like, Danny once bought some CDs, and they'd sent them to the wrong place, so they sent him some more. And then when he got his original ones as well, he said, how can I send these back to you? And they said, just give them to the library.
And you didn't, did you?
And he didn't. He sold them.
Yes, I got profit for them.
So you were profiting off other people's both inadequacies and charity.
Yes.
Right. So Amazon...
They said donate them to a library or a church. And I was like, why? What's a church going to do with DVDs?
Right. Watch them, I imagine.
And they said...
Yeah, but one of them was like... What did I have? I had the Heat
Rambo,
soundtrack. No, I had the Heat soundtrack and the Superman Returns soundtrack.
Right.
That's not church music.
Superman's a pretty churchy
Superman's
kind of
pretty
story.
uplifting, sure.
It's very uplifting.
Yeah.
It's about this guy that was born in space from a godlike circumstance, and he came to the Earth to teach people how to do well.
Oh, yeah.
And
Wank, the origin story of Superman is the same as the origin story of Moses. Wank.
And as for Heat, well,
Were you saying wank, wank, wank?
I
yes. And as for Heat, well, that's about how it's better to do good things than to do bad things.
Yeah,
It's
and
practically
that's
the
a
Bible.
That is.
Yeah. So,
But it's okay to do bad things if you're God.
where in Heat is that?
Well, no, that's in the Bible.
What
Oh.
chapter are you reading there, Dan?
Of Heat?
Are you going to, in one fell swoop, talk us about comic books and about how organised religion is a sham?
Yeah.
Right.
No,
Shall we
I'm
put
not
on
gonna
some
do either
tools?
of those things.
Okay, good. So, Amazon.com. Danny, you've had some badness with Amazon.com.
They've done some weird things sometimes, yeah.
Mhm.
They can, because they, I think it's their failing because they just stock a huge amount of things.
Yeah.
I mean, you're talking about movies, you're talking about DVDs, you're talking about, all the things you mentioned. And then inside the world of movies, you've got several different editions of the same movies.
Which is stupid.
Now, to the average stock person or stock controller, this surely could get confusing.
Yes.
So in the case of Danny Golter,
Yes.
who orders yes, that's me.
Yes.
Who orders the Terminator, not the Terminator 2, but the original Terminator.
The good one.
Orders
yes.
the Terminator Special
I like
Edition
Terminator 2.
Good.
with the second disc,
okay.
with not a second disc, but special features on the other side of the first disc,
Future.
right?
Yes.
I order that, which incidentally has the same box art as the one disc edition.
Do you think you could add some explosions and or boobies to this story?
Probably not. But
Okay.
Anyway,
Okay.
I order that and I get the wrong one. I say, "Oi, what are you going to do about it?" I get the wrong one. They say, "Donate it to a library or church, or whatever. We'll send you another one."
Danny donates it to Ian.
They say, yes, that's right. They send me another
Charity begins at home.
one. It's the wrong one again. I say, "You've got the wrong one again. Don't worry about sending me another one. I shall buy it from alternative means."
Yes.
And they said, "That's fine. We'll give you a credit on your next order."
Yes.
Blah blah blah. And I was like, okay, now I still have this copy of the Terminator hanging around, which is the
Church
one.
or library, they say.
They say church or library, but I still have it now, and I haven't done anything with it. So
Right.
if anyone wants it, take it on my hands.
Okay.
Um,
We could have a contest.
I go.
In exchange for money.
I go.
Can we do a contest?
Yeah, we could do a competition.
Okay. If you can name the segment with no name, you'll win a copy of the Terminator. This is very appropriate, Joseph, because
Terminator has
that's
no
exactly
name.
right. The first segment with no name ever done was a review of the Terminator.
Yeah, it was.
Yes.
So if you can name the segment with no name,
Give it a good name.
the best name will win a copy of the
Win a
Terminator.
copy of the
Oh,
Terminator.
Signed by Danny Golter, the buyer of the Terminator, and
Yeah.
Tom Golter, the runner of the segment, and Joseph McLeod, the host, star, and resident tyrant and dictator of Live from Joe's.
I've also got a mail to read, which I don't have anymore, but I can just remember it.
Yeah.
It's quite short. Alright, you ready?
Yes.
We read that one in the show! Not that one! It's lame!
Read a mail, read a mail, read a mail, let's come in a pail. We will read your letters, we will make you better. Joseph doesn't know a better name.
Alright.
I like that one because
Um,
it's Postman Pat one.
Yeah, I know,
It's-
that's
that's a
one
good
we
one.
liked.
Sent by somebody I think called Steve.
Are you sure we shouldn't read this on the Christmas special?
No, this is fine.
We've got a minute
Is it
left.
short?
Sent by
Does it
it's
require a
very
response?
Short. No.
Okay.
It's sent by somebody called Steve.
Yep.
It said you are gay.
That was an email to you.
Yeah.
Well, Steve, you may have heard Joseph mentioning his girlfriend, so I'm afraid you're incorrect. But don't worry, nobody goes away empty-handed on Live from Joe's. Just because you've come up incorrect about Joseph's sexual orientation, you had a 50-50 chance. So I understand that you were trying to provide Joseph with a fact about himself, and you figured, I'll tell him about his sexual orientation. You came up straight, you came up gay, Joseph is straight, but if you'd asked Danny, things might have been different.